All right, welcome back to the Summit Podcast, everyone. As I always say, I've got a great guest today, but I really mean it this time. We got Matthew Padron on. I've known Matthew for several years, again, from some coaching and contracting groups and just leveling up in business and personal, that kind of stuff. We just keep running into each other. So I was challenging him last week on a group coaching call to be more outgoing and to do some things. And he said, well, I'm not all that comfortable with that. I said, well, how would you like to be on my podcast next week? He said, absolutely not. So I sent him the schedule link, and he jumped on my calendar, and here he is. I like to give him a hard time, but I like to call him a friend. Matt, thanks for coming on the Summit Podcast, man.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Bob.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I've been trying to get you here for a while, and we have a lot of conversations. We've worked together with the same coaching community and all that, and just around a lot of the same guys. For people that don't know you, and a lot of people that will watch us probably do, but for people that don't, take a couple minutes and tell us a little bit about yourself and how you ended up as a contractor.
Yeah, I'd love to. So Matthew Padron, born and raised in Southern California. So kind of a little bedroom community just north of Los Angeles. City's Camarillo, Ventura County. So my family went back there generations, and slowly over the years, everybody kind of just moved out, various parts of the country. My parents' brother moved to Kansas more than 10 years ago. My wife and I and kids were looking to make a little bit of a change, and so we ended up moving to Topeka, Kansas, where they were, and we've been on the path of building a life here.
No, that's quite a change. California to Topeka, right?
Yeah, it's a big change. Say it again?
What was the hardest thing about that? That's a big move.
You know what? Looking back on it, it wasn't that hard. I guess the hardest thing was just the logistics of it, really.
Yeah.
Real estate market was crazy at that time, so we sold our place in California quite easily, but we had a very hard time finding one where we relocated. So we were actually homeless for about 10 days after we moved out of California because the timing didn't work out. Right. So we kind of bounced around a little bit. That and just moving ourselves cross country with 3 kids under 5. So
crazy.
It was several trips back and forth, but we got it done. Yeah. So my wife and I, we're kind of just, we'll figure it out and we'll get it done, people. So that's good as well.
Fun. And you kind of realize who's on your team when you do those kinds of things, right? So
exactly.
You haven't always been a contractor. What led up to that, and what did you change from? And I guess what's the career path then to all of a sudden now Telos Construction, and doing some projects and doing some remodeling and some other things. So how'd you get here?
That's a great question. So for most of my life, I'll say I didn't quite know what I was going to be when I grew up. Mm-hmm. So I come from a fireman family. Both my grandfathers, one of my grandfathers was a fireman, but and so was my father. One of them was also a contractor, handyman guy. I used to work with him on and off over the years. So, and my other grandfather also did the same kind of work. So it's kind of built into me somewhat.
Right.
I tried various things. I worked for LA County Fire for about 4 years. That I could kind of tell that wasn't going to be my path. Mm-hmm. So, left the fire department, decided I want to go back to school. It was about mid-20s, late 20s. It's that time in your life when your brain starts changing, start maturing, and I found myself wanting to read more than I wanted to sit and watch a movie with the guys. And so I started to explore that a little bit. My parents always had this idea that I'd be some doctor, something, white collar, go to college. And I was not successful early on. Right out of high school, it was quite difficult for me to get through.
Yeah.
So after I left the fire department, went back to school, pursued an economics degree. So, and then in the middle of all that, I took a business law class.
Yep.
and it came very natural to me. So I enjoyed it. The professor at the time encouraged me to go to law school. So I went to
Neat.
law school and
Wow.
graduated in 2013.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Well, that and then and then ultimately shifted to being a contractor. So how long did you do the lawyer stuff, and then here you are, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So funny enough, right about that time, after I got out of school, my wife said, okay, we're going to buy a place. So we went and bought a place in California, in Camarillo,
Yep.
where we grew up together. And it needed a lot of work. And so I just started tinkering away at it. So I had a little bit of time and I thought, well, let's just dive in. So we gutted the place, remodeled it top to bottom, all new
Wow.
everything. And I really enjoyed the process. So that's part of it,
Yeah.
I guess. And
Trying to
then,
find that vision of that path, right? It's like, oh,
yeah,
this, I kind of like this.
yeah. And my wife worked for a real estate developer in California. It's a two-man shop. They did extremely well. They had a contractor that was working, that did a lot of their projects, professional and private deals for their own houses. So I started talking with him one day, and I ended up working with him a little bit, and that coincided with us trying to figure out what we wanted to do. So I tried a few things, different things in the law, never really kind of found my fit
Yep.
again. So when we made that move to Kansas, we thought, okay, when we go there, I'm going to start this business. And so that's what we set out to do.
So you moved across the country and said, but when we get there, that'll be a good time to change paths, career paths, and start a business. How
Yeah.
did that go? Holy
Well,
cow.
it went okay. It was kind
Yep.
of, be perfectly honest, it was kind of hard to make that transition. So I was
Yeah.
commuting back and forth for a little while,
Oh,
a couple
wow.
of years,
Yeah.
you know, because it
That's
was
tough.
easy. It was kind of,
Yeah.
but then it became hard on the kids and hard on the family. And so I thought, I got to stop dragging my feet on this. Just got to get going. So, because you get used to a certain lifestyle, a certain way of doing things, and it's really hard to pivot. It's easy to
Yeah.
pivot when it was just me and it
Right.
was just
Sure.
me and Carrie. But
Yeah.
when it's me, Carrie, and three kids, and I'm the breadwinner, it's harder.
Mm. Well, and
So
you knew you could make the bread there, right? But it's also that old, like, the comfortable shoe thing, right? Like, you knew what that was, but this contracting thing was unknown, right? New area,
yeah,
new
very
business.
much
I mean,
so.
you took classes and everything, but nobody really teaches you how to be an entrepreneur, right?
No, they don't. And well, that's part of the reason that's how we got to know each other.
Sure.
Is I need to learn how to do this. I know how to
Right.
build. I know how to remodel things. I know how to work, but the business end of it, it's quite intricate.
Mm.
I was sharing with somebody, it's probably the hardest thing I've ever done, which might be surprising. I was like, oh, it can't be harder than law school,
I
right?
was gonna say, yeah,
Well, I think it's a lot harder.
huh.
So it's quite
Yeah.
the
Do you
hardest
say,
thing.
like, oftentimes, especially in coaching, I'll see where people will, they want to grow, they want to do some things, right? They want to change direction, whatever. But then I'll see them sabotage it in some way. Do you see? Have you seen that, or have you been? Has that happened to you, or do you think that have you just kind of blown right through that?
I know to some extent, um, I have engaged in self-sabotage, right? I think
Mm.
we all do.
Yeah, I think we all do.
Um,
Yeah.
and because we're all subject to a certain amount of fear, right? We're afraid of certain things. And when we don't move forward, even though we know it would be a good idea for us to take this next step or to make this transition or to make a decision, whatever it may be, it
Mm.
can be very hard to do simply because we're afraid of what may come,
Right.
right? Afraid of the downsides. I've never experienced that more than I have in the last few years.
Sure.
So, like when I went to take my contractor license test, I kept putting it off because I didn't want to fail. Right?
But you
Like
got to have it.
I'm going to pass it the first time. I'm going to be that guy. Well, I did, but what if I didn't? It's not a big deal. you know?
Take it again.
So, exactly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've had times of uncertainty, whether it was, moving across the country or changing careers or, changing things up. Like, how do you, I mean, you've been at it a while now. How do you manage that uncertainty today? Because sometimes it's always back there chirping at you, right?
Yeah.
How do you, what are your coping strategies for when you start to feel that self-doubt creep in?
Yeah. So, I guess my primary way of doing that is prayer. So I'm a Christian, and at those times when I find myself unable to do something or decide something or engage in any sort of thing that I know is going to be good and beneficial to me, I am reminded that you're right. You probably can't do this on your own. You're going to need some help, and it's in those moments that I know that the Lord will sort of help me, not so much make the right decision, right, or solve all my problems. It's not about solving problems, but knowing that regardless of what happens, that I'm going to be okay.
Yeah.
That regardless of what happens, that God has a plan for my life, and that if I just stay true to that and faithful, then it's going to work out.
Yeah.
And I don't need to know exactly what's going to happen. I don't need all the answers. I
Right.
just need to trust and just take the next step. The proverbial leap of faith in The Last Crusade, right?
Right.
I think we all have those moments. We all are tested to take that leap of faith,
Yeah.
and make the move.
Well, that's good. A lot of guys that have strong faith. What part of like you've come along, you come through this on a school and changed things. Like, was there a part of you or your mindset that had to die for you to be able to just freely move into this contractor space? Was there a mindset or something that had to shift?
I don't know if it necessarily had to unshift. I think maybe it needed to be uncovered. So that's one thing I've noticed over the last, 4 or 5 months, that you've been my coach.
Sure.
Is that a lot of the stuff was already there, right?
Right.
And so after we became reacquainted in October, and I met Steve and all the other guys,
Sure.
being around a certain caliber of individual really makes you want to grow and elevate to be like those people that you respect. And so I didn't really have to change. I think I just had to sort of, remove some of the layers of dead skin that had been built up over the years.
That's a great analogy. I talk a lot about, you've heard me speak, and I talk about taking your seat at the table. And you truly have done that. I say get in the right rooms. You truly have done that. If I talked with 5 years ago, Matthew, okay, what would that version of you not believe about who you are today?
He wouldn't know that the Matthew of today exists.
And that's something.
He wouldn't know him. So 5 years ago, so we moved to Kansas in May of 21. So we were right at the high point of Southern economy. We probably listed it 5 years ago to the day. I mean, it's like right there.
Yep.
So, reflecting on that, that was a kind of a scary, intense time, because I did not know I knew, okay, tomorrow I am towing a truck and trailer halfway across the country.
Right.
But what comes after that? Okay, I got to come back. But what does the next week and the next month and the next year look like? I was planning my days, my life by the days.
Right.
And now I am actively planning my life by the 1, 5, and 10 year. I mean, I've got a 10-year plan.
Yeah.
So I know exactly what it is that where I want to be, where I want to be in life, where I want to be in business, where I want to be in terms of revenue for our company 10 years out.
Nice.
I
That's
did
good.
not have that 6 months ago.
Right.
That's a
Force you
massive
to
change for
think
me.
about a few things, don't we?
Pardon?
We force you to think about a few things, you know?
Yes. Yeah.
Steve will talk about that sale date, right? Not necessarily the day that you plan on selling the company, but the day that it could be, and that you have all the systems in place. So I know you've worked hard at that.
Yeah, I finally landed at my date and my number. I did that at our Founders Day,
Good.
a couple of weeks ago, a week and a half ago.
What do you wish you knew about entrepreneurship in general before you started?
I wish I would have known that entrepreneurship is akin to a professional sport. That's how I see it.
Wow.
And it's the most difficult, most failure prone sport that anyone could ever play. It challenges every single part of who you are, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And if you want to play on that field, it takes devotion, dedication, and just flat out grit.
Yeah.
That's what I wish I would have known.
That's interesting. And I know that I know you've been on a personal development journey, business development journey. And when we do that, people notice, family notice, friends notice. What's been the reaction of some people when they and I'm sure they've noticed a little change in you.
Yeah. So I'd probably say the biggest change, or the person that's probably noticed it the most, would be my brother. So sorry, I tend to get a little choked up sometimes.
It's all good, man.
So, yeah.
That's why I don't give you the questions first.
I'm
right?
glad this thing self-edits. I needed to make myself laugh, get out of it.
Yeah.
So I remember it was Easter. I think it was 2022. Something like, yeah, it was 2022. And he pulled me aside. We were kind of hanging out, and he gave me this book. I'm gonna totally throw you off here. I'm gonna go grab that book.
No, go ahead. Go right ahead.
Yeah. I'm not sure if this is exact. Yeah, he gave me this book, called The Birthright. Right.
Okay.
And it's a great book. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And he pulled me aside, and we had a hard conversation. He's 3 years my junior. He's very successful. And growing up, I mean, I'm the older brother.
Sure.
I had lots of early success, and so it was different. And he runs an automotive shop. He was struggling. He got involved in a coaching group, and it turned things around massively for him. And he's now one of the coaches in this group. It's a very large group. And he pulled me aside and said, like, what the heck are you doing? Why are you not taking action? Why are you not doing the things that you need to do to be successful? Why are you still flying back to California? Why are you not pursuing this? Why are you not all in? And he did it from a place of love and care.
Yeah.
And it impacts me. I think about that from time to time. I can still see myself sitting there in his home office having that conversation. When I think about a turning point, that comes to mind.
Yeah.
So
amazing that he took the time. to say
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
And so I think over the past few months, as I was involved in one group and now I'm in this group, I'm starting to listen to things and learn things and pick up stuff. And I catch a few comments from him now and then. And so I don't know if he's the only one, but I think he might be the only one that actually notices.
Yeah.
And so I haven't told him this, right? But he knows if you'll even see this. But yeah, I'm trying to live up to that birthright, right?
Yeah, man.
Trying to live up to that person that God created me.
For you, man.
And he sees it in me, and so I just hadn't seen it in myself. And you say the same things. I know that you see it in me. You tell me that I can be this thing. I still don't see it, but I choose to believe it and keep moving forward in that truth. It doesn't matter what I believe or don't believe, right? It either is or isn't. Yeah. And so I'm just pressing forward as though that is true, that it is my birthright to be successful, to provide well for my family. And so well for my family that the outflow of that can bless others and help take care of others.
Love that.
So that's my whole drive, is I just want to take care of people.
Man, we could end it right there. But we won't. Got a couple of questions. Thank you, man. I appreciate the just being raw, just sharing yourself. That's pretty cool, and you guys are fortunate to have one another, you and your brother. Where do you go? Like, I mean, we jokingly said, "Hey, you want to be on my podcast?" And you said, "Oh," I said, "How's that make you feel?" He said, "Horrified," right? When that stuff happens, right? Like, oh, I gotta go have that hard conversation, or I gotta go do that thing I'm uncomfortable with. Where do you go to get over the hump? Like, what made you show up here today?
I just say yes.
I know it's not your favorite thing, right?
No, it's not my favorite thing. No.
So when you're faced with that and you're like, I'm gonna do that, what tips the scales?
Just saying yes.
Yeah.
Like if I reflexively and on a gut level know that it's good, I just say yes and I go.
There you go.
If it's something I'm scared to do, let's say it's a hard conversation. So one of the things I learned from my brother was hard conversations, easy life, easy conversations, hard life, right? And so whenever I'm faced with having a hard conversation, because I tend to be a little bit more of a people pleaser, I just say to myself, okay, we have to do this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And that's that little 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go is. I learned that when I was in the contractor fight. I think that was Derek's little mantra. Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go, pick up the phone, make the call, do the
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm gonna sidetrack you here for a second. He probably has. I mean, because I'm no longer in the fight, right? But I told Derek this about a year ago, that he's one of the biggest influences on my actually stepping into this full time, pursuing the business, being fully dedicated to it. Because we were having a conversation in Nashville at his place, and he was telling me, because we got to talking, and he's like, "You just need to burn the boats. You just need to burn the boats." And that was right about shortly after the time that I had that conversation with my brother.
Yeah.
So,
man.
And that's just really set in. So
first of all, Derek's the man. Had great conversations with him, and you don't have to have a long conversation with Derek to get a lot out of it. Any of those guys, Tim Catroni, Tom Reber, Anthony Abbott, guys that I know and call friends, and I spent a bunch of time in that group in the community, and I'll always remember that. Derek's a good dude. They don't mince any words, do they? They just tell you what you need to hear, and they're not hurtful about it. They just say, like, this is what you need to know, and we love you, and we're gonna say it to you, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, just like you and Steve. I mean, I mean, I've never met somebody more in your face and aggressive than Steve.
Right.
Like most people
Yeah.
think Tom Reaper is pretty intense, but
Steve, my
Steve,
favorite line of Steve's is, well, you say you want to do this, so why don't you just tell me it's not a priority? And I'm like, oh, that hurt. That got hurt.
it does hurt. It does hurt, but
Yeah.
he does it in such a way that it doesn't. You're not afraid to
Right.
fail. You're inspired to succeed.
They're on your team. We're on your
Yeah,
team, and you
yeah,
know that. Like, all you have to do is to reaffirm that is to shoot a text and say, hey, got a few minutes, and your phone rings.
yeah,
And I like to be able to do that when because coaching can't always happen on a schedule, right?
sure.
And like you and I mean, we've had some talks lately where you're like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this thing. I want to kick it around. Let's kick it around.
Yeah,
And we have, and
yeah,
I think, and I hope it's helped you. I know it has. And we pop it in front of the group. So, guys, if you're listening to this, and I don't try to endorse coaching or communities on here, but I will say if you're out there and you're struggling as a contractor, get in a community. There's we've been part of the Rosenberg group. We've been part of the contractor fight. There's a lot of other great companies out there as well. Just get some help. Get around people that want you to win. That's what I always say.
absolutely. I couldn't
Yeah.
agree more. Just
So
be around other people that are.
well, go ahead.
I'll say just be around other people that are on the same path as you, that want to succeed, that want to see you succeed. There's a
Yeah.
synergy to it that is absolutely remarkable.
Mhm.
It'll be the best thing you ever did.
It's funny. Did you notice when you maybe jump into a new group or whatever you join, and there's always a few guys that you're like, well, why are you even here? Because you seem like you have it all figured out. And it's just the bravado, right? And they don't want to let their guard down and go, yeah, my QuickBooks are all frigged up, or I really don't have any. My cash flow's way out of whack, and I'm not paying my bills or whatever. They don't lead with that. They lead with, oh, we'll do 1.5 this year. Okay, and I remember Steve Shinholzer at the first event I went to. I always tell this story. Came up to me and says, "Hi, I'm Steve. What's your name?" I said, "I'm Bob." He goes, "How much money are you gonna make this year?" I said, "Well, we'll do just a tick over $1 million." Yeah, but how much are you gonna keep? I go, "Oh." I didn't know the answer to that question. And
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, wow, this is interesting." And but he sat and he talked with me for a while, and here's a guy that's, got millions of dollars in the bank. He's taking a few minutes to talk to me. And so what could I glean from this? And it's how I went at it. And so, anyway, what do you think that most people should know before they start a business that they don't?
The analogy walking on the fence, right? It's like you're just or sitting on the fence. All right. It's with entrepreneurship or starting your own business. It's not on one side of the fence or the other side of the fence. It's not sitting on the fence. It's not being mostly on the other side.
Right.
It's a full sprint away from the other side of the fence that you just jumped over with the parachute on your back and bricks on your feet.
Yeah.
And running through mud.
Right.
You can't slow down. You just got to keep pushing at it. Sorry, I tend to think in analogies. So
No. Oh, me too, actually. Yeah. So
it's
go ahead.
be prepared for that. Be prepared for that. It's not a place you can come just because you want to make a lot of money. You have to find something that you're going to be dedicated to, and dedicated to it beyond just yourself, because your own success is never going to be enough. Like, I think we as human beings are meant for more than just ourselves, right? We're designed in such a way as to work and to give and to bless others. And so the beautiful thing about entrepreneurship is if you keep going, keep running away from the other side of the fence, you can get to a place where you're on dry land, where you can kick off the parachute and the bricks
Yeah.
and begin to encourage and pull other people along that are going through that same thing because you've been through it.
Yeah.
And then have the ability to bless other people that are never going to be on the other side of the fence with you.
Right.
Right? There's still going to be people on the other side of that fence. And even though it's different, you can still love on them, support them, etc., in a way that you never could if you were on the same side. It's just a choosing.
Yeah.
And choose and be all in, or don't do it. Don't do it. It'll eat you alive.
Burn the boats. You gotta go. You gotta go.
It'll eat you alive.
Right. I kind of believe that we all have different seasons we go through, right? You know, to get to where we're at, and we're all kind of in a season right now. What's one word that best defines the season that you're in right now, Matt?
One word?
Yeah.
Okay. Heavy.
Yeah. What does winning mean to you right now? If we get to the end of 2026 and look back, how will you know it's been successful? How will you know you won?
So here's another analogy. I kind of where I'm at in business and in life right now. I'm like that airplane that's headed down the runway and you're just getting up. You got wheels off the ground and you're starting to climb out, right? I'm at that initial climb out phase of this. And my goal is to get to level flight, right?
Right.
Upper air smooth. And I think that by the end of this year, I don't expect that I'll be in level flight because it's just too soon for that. And I know that, and that's okay. But if I can get to a spot where, you know, if I lose all the engines, I can still glide and safely make it back to the airport.
Yeah.
Just that altitude. Just a little more altitude. Just keep climbing. Just keep climbing. So
Well, that lines up with my next question very well. We all want to get to the next level, and to continue your analogy, what scares you about getting to, I'll call it, cruising altitude? That next level. What's scary about the next level?
I'm sure I'm not alone in this. I probably nearly all entrepreneurs have the same fear, but complacency, getting comfortable.
Yeah.
So, in part because I know what that looks like. I know I've lived being comfortable, and as a result, being complacent. So, I don't think I'll do that again, but because I've done it, I know there's a chance that I could, and so that's something that that would scare me. So maybe I'm not looking for level flight. Maybe I'm looking for moon base.
There you go. There you go.
Or I'll join Musk and mission to Mars.
There you go. Let's do
I
it.
don't think there's a stopping point.
No.
Yeah.
Keep on trucking, right? We're always moving the goalposts, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're all on a journey, right? Like when it's all said and done, I talk a lot about legacy too, and like, I guess in short, what do you want to be remembered for?
You and your questions.
I'm killing you today. I didn't prepare you for this.
It's okay. This is good. I guess I'll just take them in order, right? I want to be remembered as faithful to my God, to my wife, to my children, having done well in those roles. I have not always done well in those roles, and sometimes I have done extremely poorly. But there's grace and forgiveness, so I can move forward regardless. I want to be known as somebody that deeply cared for people. That even though I am pursuing growing this business, and I want it to be dang successful. I want to be the absolute best in my area, and then I'm going to the next town, and then I'm going to the next town.
Right.
I have
domination, baby.
I have very big vision for this. But in the end, that's really not that important, right? I want to be able to leverage that success in such a way that I can bless others. So, support my church, support the people that haven't not been given what I've been given.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, back to the seasons thing. We've all been through tough seasons, right? Heck, I could be going through one right now. If someone's listening to this and they're going through a tough season, or they're just kind of getting kicked around a little bit, what would you tell them?
If they're having a really bad go of it, right, and things are constantly not working, my initial thought was to tell them, just don't stop, keep going.
Right.
But that's not always the right answer, right? Sometimes you can be pursuing a path that's just the wrong path for you. And the harder you work and the harder you pursue it, the more deviated from your course you're going to be on. Sometimes you have to stop, take a moment, take a breath, reflect, and take analysis of the situation around you. Maybe it's not the path for you, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be. There's a lot of things that you can do and still have a great, successful life, happy life, good family life, etc. But if you do that and you come to the conclusion that, yes, I'm on the right path, then that's what I would say, don't stop. Don't stop, right? It's like the false summit analogy that you were talking about the other day.
Sure.
Where we used to live, there's a mountain right behind us, and there's no trails back there. You can get up to where the trails are, but we went up the front side, which is kind of the steep side, and you would get up there and you couldn't see nothing but sky up above you. And then I'm there. Nope, it dips back down and then it goes back up like this. I was like, you were telling that story, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, I know exactly what that's like too many times, various places. But
for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to keep going. It doesn't matter where the top is.
Don't quit. You don't have any quit in you.
The top is when you're dead.
Right.
That's the top.
Yeah.
Just if it's the right path, go. Don't look back.
I love it. Hey, I did warn you about this question. I wrote this book, Finding Your Edge, right?
Yeah.
I always love to ask people what their edge is and remind them that, for me, like the way I define it is the edge is where you go when the shit hits the fan, and how you show up differently than others, and what you feel you bring to the table that others don't. Dun, dun, dun. So I'll ask you, Matt. What do you feel like your edge is?
I was thinking, because like you said, you did warn me that I would be asked this question. I was thinking about it, and I don't know how to answer this where it doesn't sound, promotional or being a bit of a braggart. But I'm pretty smart, right? So
I always say that. What's the one thing I say to you, Matt? Hold on. Matt, you're no dummy. We know this. I always say that.
I'll go with that. I'm no dummy. That sounds a little bit more humbling.
No
You're not dumb. Matt, don't worry. You're not dumb. You're okay. right?
Classic Bob
Gosh,
Turner coaching moments.
it is. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for the lift.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, your IQ is well above 80, 81.
Of course.
You're good. Um,
Uh,
so, I mean, I was blessed with a decent intellect, right?
yeah.
I'm no genius, but pretty sharp. Um, so it's a combination of a few things. So it's that. Um, I guess it's just I'm 45. You gain a few bit of years of life experience, you start gaining perspective on things. You start
Right.
seeing things a little bit differently. So I think my ability to analyze has gotten really sharp over the years.
Mm.
It's not great. It's only going to get better. So I'm really looking forward to that. So I take those and I combine them with what I think I have a fantastic work ethic. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I can really dig down and I can work like
Yeah.
for long periods of time. Um, and so when I'm in something where I can actually employ all three of those. That's what
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed about this. Enjoyed it being a contractor.
Yeah.
Enjoyed starting this business from nothing, building it, pursuing it, growing my team. I have 3 people on my team now. Um, and I get to take all my skill sets, my God given skill sets, and apply them in one direction. And I freaking love that.
That's a good place to be, my
It's
friend.
fun.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's so hard, but
Oh,
it's
it
so
is.
good.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
good.
We see the
So
hard.
that's my edge. Like
Yeah.
that, and I just love people. I've probably
Yeah.
said it too many times
Sure.
now, but I really
Yeah.
do. I really care for people.
You
Yeah,
left
to my
out
own fault sometimes.
articulate. You left out articulate, and I always tell you that, and tell you to lean into that too. Like whether it's your social or your videos, or I've encouraged you to do videos and that kind of thing. So you've got some tools in your belt that some don't have, and it's okay to exploit them. I always say that quote. I don't know who said it. It wasn't me, but um, find your uniqueness and exploit it in the service of
Mm,
others. And I think that
yeah,
you've done
love
that,
that.
and I think you've
Love
done
that.
that in a number of ways. So man, this was a good one. Um, I got one more question.
Yeah, shoot.
Is yay? That's what I do. I'll be quiet. I kind of put the mic down and just simply ask you, whether it's business or personal, whatever. What do you want people to know?
It's a good question. I yeah, hire the cellist. It's the best thing you'll ever do. I mean,
There you go. Yeah.
no, no. And this is I was thinking about it. Like, what I want people to know because it sounds like an invitation to give a pitch, right?
Yeah,
Um,
but just
but
you
but it's
like
really
you said,
not.
you're 45.
But
You've come across a few things.
yeah, but
What do
it's
you wish
really
people knew?
um, that. And you're killing me here, Bob.
Killing you, killing.
It's
You. I didn't
great. No,
warn
it's
you.
good. It's good.
Going
No,
deep.
it's great. That's great. I can you give me a prompt? A bit more than that, possible.
Um, well, yeah, for sure. Like, more. Here's one. Like, what do you wish somebody told you before you started in a business? When you think, well, I know it's going to be hard, but how hard can it be, right? What do you wish you knew about starting a business?
Sure. You Bob, for the people that are listening to this, I imagine most of them are going to be those that run in our circles.
Sure.
And or people that
I've
are
got more than 12 followers, Matt. You know, I have more than 12 people.
probably have more than that in the group.
Just kidding.
I know it's a newer group, but I thought it's growing.
Right.
We're getting somewhere.
Yeah, there'll be a bunch
Yeah,
of people
yeah.
that are familiar with you for sure.
Yeah, yeah. And, tangentially, affiliated with either you or I, friends, family, etc. Sure. What I would want them to know is really not anything to do with myself. What I would like for them to know is that if you haven't gone through the process of digging deeply into who you are, what makes you tick, explored some of the talents and gifts that you've been given, and honestly exploit those for your best life, for your family's best life, for your community's best life. I would really encourage you to at least think about that. Think about your life and what benefit it can bring to you, your family, and your community if you go all in on who it is that you were created to be. I think that if everybody did that, took the time to reflect, to not look outside of themselves for what's going on in their life, but look inside of themselves for what they can do to better their life, I can only imagine what the world would look like. Competition for me would be extremely fierce. It'd be very hard to get ahead. And if you do those kinds of things, competition for you will not be quite as hard. You'll find the field, the area, the part of this world where you are supposed to be. And inside of that, you will experience a joy and happiness that is truly unique. Even though in the midst of all that joy and happiness, you might be pursuing the hardest thing you've ever done. I would encourage somebody to do that. That's what I would like for people to know.
You didn't need a prompt. Are you kidding? That was great. That was great.
This took me a second.
I know, I know this was not easy for you. I'm honored and humbled that you take the time. I know you've got a lot going on. They spent some time with me and answer some tough questions. I didn't warn you. I appreciate your vulnerability, transparency, all the stuff that I always say, be raw, real, and relevant. I thank you for being on the Summit podcast. Yes, I coach you client, but we friends, and I appreciate that. And, you guys that are listening to this, if you got some value from this, share it out. Tag Matt Padron, Matthew Padron, Padron, Telos Construction, Telos. Like him on Facebook. He knows I'm always on my social media soapbox trying to get him more follows and likes and do the videos and all that stuff. And I think you've seen here today that growth isn't automatic. It's intentional. And Matt's been intentional about it. On my daily live this week, this past 8 or 9 days, I've been talking about the mountain, the middle of the mountain. It's interesting you mentioned that, right? So if you're in the middle right now, don't disappear. If you're, as Steve says, on rotation, if you're taking off and trying to get to that cruising altitude, don't come off the gas, guys. Keep climbing, okay? It's worth it. Get through the false summits. Here we go with the analogies, right? Get through those false summits. Keep pushing through to the other side. You'll be glad you did. Is it work? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is it easy? Nope. Would we trade it for the world? Nope. So, Matt, thank you very much. I appreciate you being a guest on the Summit podcast. I might have to check, but I think this might be episode 100. And I can't think of a better way to have spent it, so I thank you. I appreciate you taking the time. And, yeah. Any last words before we shut it down?
One just came to mind. You were talking about, like follow Matthew Padron, Telos Construction. Can I take a minute and tell you about Telos?
Sure. Yeah, let's go.
Great. Because some people ask, some people don't. It's great. But like, that's a weird word. How'd you come up with that?
Yeah.
So it's a Greek word, right? I mean, roughly speaking, it's the end of a goal-oriented process or the purpose of a thing. So I've talked about it a few times, right? I'm a Christian, and like the number one thing for my life is to glorify God and enjoy Him forever, right? And so in the Bible, when it talks about that, the New Testament was written in Greek. The word it uses is telos. The word it uses is telos. And so with everything that I do, with everything that we do in our business, I try to do it in such a way as to bring glory to God. So
there you go.
My wife suggested the name, and I'm like, that's perfect. That's absolutely perfect. I love it.
There you go.
So
Perfect.
I always kind of wanted to share that. So
yeah, I hope she'll
it's
enjoy
fun.
this.
Hey, it's kind of fun. It's kind of nerdy, but you know me.
Like everything else with you, it was intentional.
Yes, very intentional.
I hope your brother sees this.
Yeah,
I hope he
he doesn't.
Yeah.
Big brother getting all teared up. The little brother having a big impact. Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah. You got to give him a win now and then, right? You can't be all
Dude,
like.
He's got enough wins. He's good. I'm kidding, Nick. You're good.
Yeah.
He's a winner.
Right,
that guy's a winner.
He's a winner, and you're a winner.
He's a winner.
Okay.
I'm a winner.
I appreciate it, guys. It's been the Summit Podcast. We're burning it up here. So this has been a great episode. I believe it's episode 100. Can't think of a better way to have spent it. Matt, thank you very much.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Take care. Thank you, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate
you too.
Take care.
Talk to you.